Okay, let's do this. Hello, I am Philippa. I am the knitter of One Knitter and Her Dog, and if I have managed to insert the clips from this morning's dog walk before this, you will have seen Kipling, who is my 8-year-old border terrier. Not so great with the knitting needles, it has to be said, but loves a good snooze on a ball of yarn, particularly a ball of yarn that's being used because, of course, the comfiest of yarn. So I set up this YouTube channel about a year ago with the intention of filming some videos. Spoiler alert, that didn't happen. Some shorts, sure, but not the longer form content videos that I anticipated that I'd be doing. So yes, this particular video isn't going to be a podcast as such, but I thought I'd tell you what I'm wearing. That seems to be the done thing. So I am wearing the Farnham Tee by the Knit Pearl Girl, which I finished earlier this during the summer. I've made it using Drops Belle in the colours. I think the white was Pearl and the yellow is Dandelion. It's my first attempt at doing short rows, German short rows, and let's just say many attempts were had. Oh, and this I made too. This is my Advent project from last year. It's the Past, Present, Future blanket. Can't remember the name of the designer, but I'll put it in the show notes. And I made it using my first ever Advent calendar, which was from the Discrete unicorn, but I think she now goes by Miriam the Weaver. I think that's right, but I'll put it in the notes again. But yeah, loved it. So bright, so vibrant. It was perfect to work on during, well, after Christmas and during winter months, and yeah, it was just lovely. So, as I say, not a podcast, although it's starting to sound like one. I recently went on holiday to Dorset with my husband and Kip, of course. Beautiful, gorgeous, stunning scenery, just lovely. But I have to admit that one of the highlights was this incredible charity shop yarn haul. I don't really like that word, but finds, let's say yarn finds, from a charity shop where my friend lives. She is also a knitter, so I couldn't tempt her to take any of it, but I've got a little something I might do for her with some of it. So if that sounds like something you'd like to watch, then let's do it. Right, cup of tea is down. It's time for the first of the yarn. So this is John Arbon. Ooh, 100% merino double knit. You'll have to apologise. You'll have to excuse me rather. This is all very new. Now this is so soft. And speaking of my friend who was a knitter, this was the one that caught her eye. But one skein, she wasn't sure what she'd knit with it, so she told me to tab it, which I was glad to do. Now it's her birthday, a big birthday coming up, and it's so soft, so soft. I haven't knit with any DK on Arbon before, but I have made a pair of socks before. It's this lovely duck egg blue, very pale, almost grey, greeny grey, knit by numbers. It was £1. And looking on the John Arbon website, I believe that some of these go for £20 or more. So yeah, what am I thinking of making? The classic. I actually haven't made a Sophie scarf, but I have made something similar. I believe it was called the Simple Scarf. Again, I apologise, I can't remember the designer. I will put a photo here if I can work out how to do that. I'm setting the bar quite high here. I need to manage my expectations. But yeah, some sort of scarf for my friend, I believe. But yes, £1. £1. And this is just the beginning. Okay, next up. This is such a find. Now, this is Scheepjes. I think we can all agree that it's not Scheepjes, the brand. I apologise for the terrible pronunciation. But this is the Scheepjes Undyed Pure Wool fingering weight. I believe I got 6 of these and 2 of the same wool, but in DK weight. Now, Undyed, I could make something as is, but full disclosure, I'm quite clumsy. Is it wise for me? I mean, I'm aware I'm wearing a light coloured top here, but the dungarees are doing a lot of work. Do I risk making a garment out of cream white yarn? I think we all know the answer to that one. And I did go on a natural dyeing workshop back in the spring, which I loved, and I bought a kit after doing it. Have I done the kit? Of course I haven't. So I do have the option to be able to, I mean, yeah, I've got so many. There's like 6, and it might be quite unusual, maybe, I don't know, but I love a 4-ply. Apologies, next door's dogs were barking. I think we're good now. But yeah, as a 4-ply garment pattern, as my blanket from last Advent can attest, it's dreamy to me. So, as I say, I've got 5 or 6 skeins of this yarn, so soft. I'm thinking a sweater for me. I have really loved the Staffin sweater from Rebecca Clow, the Crabear. And I saw that she had brought out a Staffin Lite, which fingering yarn, or you can have a t-shirt for a sweater, or sweater, whichever. So I think, I'll put a photo here if you haven't seen it, I'm sure you have. I'm thinking, as I have a sweater's quantity for myself here, that will be the one. Now, I just need to decide whether to keep it as undyed or whether I brave it and use my dyeing kit. Any opinions? Greatly appreciated, because it feels a big thing to knit it and then dye it, but also I feel like I might ruin it if I dye it first, but maybe I just need to have more confidence. But anyway, yeah, let me know. On to the next one. Oh, what am I thinking? You've guessed it, £1 each. £1 each. So it will be £6 for a sweater, a wool sweater. And I've got 2 of the DK weight as well, which will be something else. Maybe I could try dyeing on that first. That might be a good idea to build my confidence up. Right, now we are on to the next one. So, these are a find, if I do say so myself. I mean, it all is. So I have 2 skeins of, I can't get this to focus, Rowan fine lace. 2 skeins. It's this really lovely, so it's 80% baby Surrey alpaca and 20% fine merino wool, and it is so soft. I have never worked with lace yarn before. I'm not entirely sure what I could make with it. Do people hold it double? Do I hold it with something else? Could I hold it with some fingering yarn? Or some double knit? Or with anything? It's a really lovely, it's really hard to tell whether it's, does it say, it must say the shade. It's just a number, so it's not going to mean anything. But it's like almost a dark bluey grey black. Helpful. But yeah, do people make shawls? I don't know. I've never made a shawl. Do I need to make a shawl? Does anybody have any tips on it? But it's, again, I sound like a broken record, but 2 50-gram balls, same dye lot. You know where I'm going with this. £1. And I am aware that these are expensive things. Somebody must have been having, all of this was from the same charity shop. I think somebody must have been having a real de-stash, and I'm so glad that, I mean, I was so lucky to find it. So yeah, if anyone has any ideas on what I could do with 2 skeins of, 100 grams of fine lace, do let me know. I'm going in my bag again. Okay, last but no means least, I have, now all of this was in one bag. So just incredible. So 4 skeins of this most beautiful Rowan Kidsilk Haze. I have used the Kidsilk Haze many years ago when I first, as the first time as not a child, when I was being taught by my mum and grandma to knit. I made a very airy, floaty, very large needle scarf for a friend, and I used a skein of Kidsilk Haze. This is a very, like, almost icy blue grey. It's really lovely. So 4 of these, and then, if you can believe it, I couldn't. Again, all the same dye lot, more Kidsilk Haze in this most beautiful khaki green, foresty green. It's so nice. Again, any ideas on what would be best to do with something like this? Any pattern ideas? Would you hold it with something else? I don't think I'd personally want a garment just made of it. I can imagine it might be really lovely combined with something else. Again, do I combine it with the Scheepjes? Not Scheepjes, the Undyed wool. And then also in that bag, now I have absolutely never knit anything with mohair, but look at this, beautiful. This is also Rowan, I believe. Oh no. A dryer fill? I have not heard of this brand. It looks like maybe quite a vintage label, but yeah, I have never knit with mohair. I'm unsure whether I'd be okay with it. I know that people do hold that with something else generally, I believe. So yeah, but I do love that colour. A nice pop for the winter maybe. But yeah, you know what's coming. All of this was in a bag for £1, which feels ridiculous. And I am super lucky. What a find. So you'll be pleased to know that is everything. I hope you enjoyed my rambling, my very, I just still can't believe my finds. It was such good timing, and it was so lovely that it was while I was on holiday with my friend. As I say, I think the John Arbon DK single skein will be the first thing I knit as a present for that friend, because who doesn't love some knitwear, or who doesn't love a scarf as a gift? I mean, I know I would. But yes, thank you very much for joining me for my first foray into the world of knitting videos. So yes, if you enjoyed and you would like to like and subscribe, that would be lovely. And you can also find me over on Instagram, where I am also One Knitter and a Dog, and on I'll link everything in the show notes below. So yeah, thanks very much. I'll see you next time. Bye.